We begin today's recording by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we are on. I am on Burrawang land. Where are you, Breezer?
I am on the land of the Djajarurrung people.
We pay our respects to the elders past and present and extend that respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples who are tuning in today.
And wherever you're listening to the potty today, make sure you know whose land you're on. Join us each week for some booze-free banter about life without booze.
If you're entertaining cutting back your booze by a day, a week, a month, or for the rest of your life, we would love for you to tune in.
Buckle up and come along for a ride that may just change your life. If any of today's conversations have been triggering, please reach out to your local support centre in Australia. That is Lifeline 131114.
Let's crack a can. Actually, Altina can. That's what actually.
I've just done a screw top. Well, I've done a screw top, but I still went. Shh. I'm into the Altina Levit in a Rose. What are you into, Maso?
I am too, as well.
Boom.
I've got the white can, but I'm actually having it at a fancy glass.
Oh, fancy pants.
A fancy glass and the
Oh, you got the garnish.
The garnish.
How pretty.
Garnish. And remember the ice blocks? We haven't spoken about them for a while. Remember the
Oh, yes. The ice blocks, the beautiful ice blocks.
Ice.
You got that in an Altina pack, didn't you?
I did. And can you tell listeners what they get, Breezer?
Sure can, Maso. And because it's December, we love giving out gifts. And you guys will get a 10% off Altina drinks using discount code BFB10. And where do they shop, Maso?
They go to www.altinadrinks.com. Or you can just get them through our bio. Link in the bio.
Yeah, link in the bio. Get around them. Thank you, Altina.
We love you.
Meso.
Breezer.
That was a bit slow motion then because I had Alki like in my grill. For our listeners, Alki's my daughter. She's just sort of loitering around as we're recording this little intro. So.
I love it. It's a family action-packed day.
It is. Now, Meso, this episode was all organised by you, so I'm going to let you do the intro because you did an amazing job of securing this person.
Oh, goodness me. Well, I can't take all the creds because his sister actually slid into our DMs and we'll talk about her later on during the potty. So thank you, our lovely. We have talked to TikTok star. He's got 32.2 thousand followers on TikTok. He's a TikTok sensation, and on his TikTok, he's a callmejoeofficial@gmail.com. He says, be kind, laugh with me, and vibe on. He is cool. Scott Fryer, and he is a legend.
He was incredible, Meso.
Oh, my goodness.
Fan.
And in fact, you need to go and watch this on YouTube because he's not only aesthetically really pleasing, like a good-looking guy, but he's beaming and yeah, he really is. And he just, the way that he spoke, just one of us.
He's massively up and about and you could just see, he was beaming, so like you said, his beautiful smile, he's just in a really happy place and he's been through a bit, which he talks about in the potty. And I know we recorded this one at night time, but I could have stayed up all night and chatted to Scotty.
No, truly. And I really love the part in the potty where he just knows who he is now. He's got to know himself. Like, he knows himself. I know. 25 years. So he gets it. So we're so grateful for his time, his energy, and all his amazing creativity on Instagram and TikTok. Get over there and get amongst it. He's a funny guy, very, very clever. Oh, we can't wait for you to get your ears around Scott Fryer.
Get amongst it. Woo!
Big, warm, booze-free bants with please welcome to our TikTok sensation, Mr. Scott Fryer.
Woo!
Welcome to Booze Free Bants.
Hi, thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Yeah, it's so good. We can't wait to unpack your story. And you know the show inside out and back to front. So you know that we're just throwing you straight in the deep end, Scott, with Confession Session.
Confession Session, it's time to play. Where you tell us what you're ashamed to say.
Oh, okay, all right. This was not difficult. Probably one of my most recent. Okay, so, all right. it was so, obviously lockdown, 2 years worth in and out. I mean, everyone's been through it, blah, blah, blah. That probably has no relevance over this, actually. But it was my first Christmas out. I went out for a Christmas party with the girls at work, and we got on it. When I got home, I obviously forgot that I had a key safe at my back door. And so I decided that I had to break into the apartment to get in. Now, I'm 3 floors up. I'm actually 4 floors if you take away the carport. Oftentimes I've sat on my balcony and I've kind of looked up. I've got a rooftop on the building, and I look up and think, oh, yeah, I suppose if I ever have to break in, this would be my way. I just come over the... Anyway, I came home completely obliterated. I'm a bit foggy on the details. I do know my friend got a penalty rate in the Uber, so I'll let you work out what that was.
Ratings are down.
And so I thought I got locked out. Anyway, I got to the roof. I thought, okay, I'll just lower myself down from the roof onto my balcony. And it's one of those open ones. Like I didn't think at any point that I was risking my life.
So you've climbed up the side. Have you climbed up? There's a staircase that goes up to the roof. I got up to the roof. Yeah.
Let's release my address at this point, probably is a good idea. But I got up on the roof. I walked over to my balcony. I lowered myself, and what I thought would just be a pretty gentle landing was obviously a massive thud. I broke my ankle, completely broke it in half. And Jimmy'd opened the window, and like some kind of tripod, I hobbled my way into the apartment, and like it didn't end there. I thought I need a drink, and so I poured myself a drink, and I think I drank for the next 8 hours anyway. I don't know what, but a friend of mine said, look, mate, you've got to call the ambulance, and I called the ambo. They came and picked me up. I cried my eyes out like a little bee in the ambulance, and then, spent, the next few days in hospital. So that was pretty fun.
And were you feeling sorry for yourself, Scott, like all down the dumps?
It was a bit of a low. It was definitely a new low. But everyone in hospital was actually really pleasant about it. So I couldn't hate myself that much because they were all really nice. But, I don't know. Yeah, it was pretty shit. It was pretty shit that I got into bed with a broken ankle and then decided I needed to refill my drink again. And so did the tripod. I actually had a neighbour come up to put peas on my ankle, and then you can't. Yeah, peas aren't going to cut it.
No, Dr. ABC is going to help this broken ankle.
No ricer.
No ricer.
Mate, thank you so much for sharing. Do you look at that drop now and go, there is no way I could do that? Like when you're drunk, you think you can?
Yeah, I guess I do. No, because I keep playing it over thinking maybe I didn't commando roll out of it properly, like if I ever had to do it again. It was just a dead weight that just hit the deck massively.
Ouch.
Well, I think
I don't think I'll do that again.
Yeah, that's the first for Booze Free Bants. I don't think we've had a broken ankle, have we, Meso?
No ankle's broken. But I love how you had a priority to keep filling your drink, though. I can really appreciate that. That's something I definitely would have done. But thanks for sharing, mate. No worries. How's the ankle now? Just got.
I've got a pretty nice scar. It's okay. I've got a plate in and 5 screws. Yeah, so I really did it. I did it good.
You really did it well.
Yes, and I can take that out after 12 months, but I won't do it at the start of summer. I'm gonna hit the beach first, and then I'll take the plate after.
Oh my goodness! Merry Christmas.
Yeah, it was good. We just come out of lockdown, and then I'm straight back in it again with a broken ankle.
You just loved it so much.
Oh yeah.
Mate, what a punish.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, well, thank you for sharing.
Yeah,
we can feel the shame in that as well. So then, congratulations on sobriety.
Thank you.
Yeah. How long's it been?
I'm 203 days now.
Wow.
Well done.
So, 6 months and 20 days.
So amazing.
yeah, I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, so you should be. It's a massive effort. So quick question. From the time that you decided you were going to give the booze the flick to the point that you had your last drinks, what was that time frame?
Oh, actually, this time it was probably just a few days because I went home to Perth. I tried before and I quit for, probably that's a whole other story. I quit for like, I think 6 or 7. I might be at about the same point now.
Yeah.
And then, got into drinking again. Met a player who promised, the world that all started with a drink. Anyway, this time,
I hear you.
Yeah, it was a good one. So that'll never happen again. But this time I was in Perth. I went home for Easter. I hadn't been able to get over there for such a long time. I got over there. I felt like absolute cock-a-doo-doo. I was empty. Like oh God, now should I tell this? This is bad. Let's just say I called, it was first thing in the morning on a Monday, and I knew that I had to get to Perth. Wasn't in a very good state. Anyway, got on a plane, landed in Perth, and then had just a really terrible trip because I felt horrible. I felt like I'd hit a new low again. And I saw my brother-in-law, who was looking absolutely amazing. He'd been working on his body. He's going through this body transformation thing. And I just felt crap. And I said to my sister, when I get back, I've got to give this up. I've got to stop drinking. It's enough. It's too much. And then I quit. I spent a couple more nights there in Perth. I had a big chug-a-thon with my mum the night before I got on the plane, and then got home, and that was it. I literally haven't touched it since. So and second time around, I actually feel like that was the clincher for me.
Yeah, right. So how long was it before that? So from the first time that you thought you might give it away, like years ago, was it years, months?
No, it was within lockdown, so it was within the last year or so. It was actually it was Australia Day, January 26th, 2021. I quit then, and then I quit for about 7 months and felt fantastic. I just cannot believe I picked it up again. But
we all do, mate. We all do.
And you're here now. You're here now. 206 days, was it? Did you say?
Yeah, 203.
203. Yeah. Well, when this potty drops, it'll be even longer. So.
Oh, massively.
You'll be smashing it. So then tell us, Scott, what did your drinking look like? Paint us a picture of what your drinking was like.
It's an interesting, I don't know. I wouldn't call myself an alcoholic. I don't really know. I don't know what defines that. I'd say from listening to conversations, and I can only go on what I hear from you guys and podcasts or whatever, is I'd probably considered a grey area drinker.
Yeah.
I could easily drink every night. I had to force myself not to. And it was a classic self-medication. I'm bored. I've always been a big drinker. Our family are big drinkers. We grew up in that generation. Oh, God, I'm rambling. Okay, so let's just say I would always do a bit of a mental stock take every night to see how much alcohol I had in the house, how much would I need to get through the night, and then I'd just get on it. And I was quite happy just to sit and drink on my own, sadly. And that probably comes off the back end of being in lockdown and not having the option. And I really hit it hard then, actually, and hit a whole bunch of depressive lows through that whole period. Mainly, I think, because of that, but it's a dangerous cycle, isn't it? Because you sort of, try to heal and make yourself worse. But I could easily put away a couple of bottles of wine. I'd get spirits on a Friday night, so I'd get a bottle of tequila, get some champagne and some beers all in one run and think, oh, this will last the weekend. Of course, it wouldn't. It'd last to 7 afternoon. I'd get more. But I was at a point where I could just about go through a bottle of tequila in a night.
Wow.
And
So was it that real numbing scenario, Scotty? Can I call you Scotty? Do you get called Scotty?
Yeah, Scotty.
Right.
Yeah, no,
Scotty. I feel like you've really got a Scotty vibe going on. Was it to numb yourself? Because Mason and I have spoken about that before, how we would drink just to wash away those feelings. Were you getting to that sort of cycle? Or was it just
Yeah, I think so. But I think also I was just in like autopilot mode.
Yeah, right.
And I was obviously fully functioning at work. That's never changed. My capacity to work has never waned, I don't think. But, yeah, I think it was just one of those, it's the end of the day. I just would turn off and I'd literally it was like putting myself into autopilot. I'd just start drinking and then I wouldn't have to think about what came next, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an introverted person, believe it or not, but I quite like isolation. I quite like not having obligation to be somewhere. So for me, it was just like one of those things that, right, I've got my nest, I'm in my house, I've got my kids, and my dogs, and my big old bottle of booze.
Yeah, a little party.
Yeah.
And then it became a habit.
Yeah. So, yeah, and look, there was definitely why bother getting a glass, you know? Let's just go straight for the tequila bottle. Oh, God. It's so bad.
No, you're speaking our language. Like we're exactly, especially Meso. You always talk about it, don't you, Meso? Like, what's the point of one glass of wine?
Yeah, what's the point? There's no point. Like, yeah, and I've got photo of lockdown last year too. Was it whatever the first one was? I took a photo of all the tequila bottles that I was having every single night. Like, who's doing that? Yeah. And I was real proud of it. I'm like, look at all these. I must post that actually. I'll post it on the Instagram.
I actually don't remember the transition between, this just feels like normal fun and I feel no shame, to suddenly, I've got to do, I've got to place the bottles in the bin type of thing, like so it doesn't make noise. Like, at what point did I start getting ashamed of taking the rubbish out? I don't know when that happened, but it happened a while ago, I think.
And you mentioned before, Scotty, about drinking on your own. Mason and I were the same, and we just thought that was normal until we realised that it wasn't. And other people were like, "Oh, what do you mean you drink on your own?" I'm like, "What do you mean? What do you mean?"
Well, I know, and so this is a thing too. Like, I think, I just assumed everyone was doing it, and so I legitimately get quite shocked when people are just like, "Oh, they would never do that." It's like, what do you mean you'd never do it? Like, you're worth it, babe. Come on.
That's it.
Yeah, it's strange. Yeah, but now I obviously looking at it a bit differently. It's sort of like, wow, I think now shit could really do some damage.
Yeah,
really put it away.
Yeah. So, was there a pivotal moment that led you to giving it the flick? Did you touch on that before?
Was it the ankle?
No, look, just I guess over like to date, I guess when I've found myself in a funk, I've been able to stand back. I'm a bit of a self-analyzer. I've been able to stand back and really see what's happening. And so I kind of pull in and rescue myself every now and then. And this is definitely a classic case of that. So I think I just got to a point where I was just so aware of what was happening, and this was just a dangerous, ongoing, repeat pattern. No good was coming of it. I felt my depression hit, that I just knew I had to stop. So it was really that. It wasn't really a catalyst moment like breaking my ankle, because, I mean, I didn't stop drinking. I did. I worked out how to crutch from the kitchen to the living room with a glass of wine in my hand holding crutches. Like, yeah, there was no problem there.
You didn't get a Camelback. It was like
No, I'm very resilient and I have ingenuity. I worked it out. But then I did tripod myself in from the balcony. Yeah.
Going back on you've touched on depression there, Scott. Have you? Is that something that's been part of your life, your whole life? Yep. And did the alcohol ramp that up?
Yes, I dare say. I mean, look, I'm 46, about to turn 47. I've definitely been drinking since I know I got absolutely hammered at my girlfriend's 16th birthday party, and we were like a few days apart. So I was well into it by then. And so I had been drinking from a young age, and oh my God, see, this is what happens. I don't even remember what the was.
No, I did the same thing. Don't worry, you're not on your own. I was asking about depression.
Oh, shit.
Depression.
Yeah, see, I completely, yeah.
You're not on your own.
I think because I think it would have caused it. And certainly when I would hit it hard, then, yeah, I'd feel the depression come on. And that could be the reason, but I don't know, maybe not. But it certainly didn't help. But, yeah, I've got mental health. What do you call it? Like
mental health care plan.
Yeah, I got all that. I see a therapist, and I'm on antidepressants, Zoloft. I've just reduced from 100 to 50, which is amazing, and that's all since giving up the grog. And I'm working to be completely off it, but it's got to be a slow process.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Incredible.
Yeah, just you. Yeah. So. Yes,
I think people underestimate the correlation between drinking and mental health, and you're proof in the pudding now that you can, lower your dose by removing the alcohol. Well done, that's amazing.
Completely. And I suffer from like massive like social anxiety, and I think I think that's when you go out like to get a few drinks into you. It was. One thing that you used to do. So they really do go hand in hand and not helping. And
they don't work effectively when you're pouring booze on them either.
No, and that's the other thing too. I never quite understood. I sort of thought when they said, don't drink on these, one, that sounds like a challenge. But also, I just thought, maybe I'll get drunker faster type of thing.
Bonus.
And then that's... I mean, I don't know, maybe I am, but I don't think I am. But I think what it is that eventually the pills just stop working. The medication doesn't work, and I'm drinking and all so
I've got that song in my head, when the drugs don't work.
The Verve. Yeah. Great song.
Yeah, well, they weren't working.
They weren't working.
Yeah.
Well, tell us then, you're actually friends with some of my friends, some of my colleagues, gorgeous boys. In the queer community, tell us, how is sobriety viewed? Is it embraced? Is it disgraced? Tell us what that looks like.
It's not. To be honest, I don't really think it's certainly not embraced. I don't know of many queer sober groups, but then I would like to learn that they exist. I'm just not aware of them. But our community and our lifestyle is very freeing. It's all about abandonment and joy, and as you guys know, any type of like party or good times usually involve alcohol. And I don't begin to say I'm an ambassador for the community. I don't want to say anything that would, get me into trouble, but it's certainly not something that is embraced. It's hard to go out and not drink, although I'm going out and getting like non-alc options. They don't have a lot, but then a lot of places don't have a lot. But that kind of lifestyle, partying, whether it be drugs, alcohol, is pretty prevalent. So it's hard to hide from. Yeah.
Well, it's just, I guess it's the same in the straight community as well. So same, really.
But look, with regards to my friends, like they're all very supportive of my journey, and going out at the moment isn't all that easy. It's early days for me, and I've noticed too that being one-on-one, going out for drinks is very hard, because when someone starts to loosen up and you want to encourage it, you don't want to be a Karen and kind of it's hard to stay connected, and you can't ghost them. You can't like vamoose when it's all getting too much, because you're just the two of you. So that I'm just learning is better with crowds, perhaps.
Yeah, Scotty. Yeah. Has anyone addressed, firstly, have you had to address anyone's alcohol in the community, or have they addressed yours? Has anyone pulled you up?
No one's pulled me up. Certainly not strangers. I mean, I reckon there's a couple of, one of the things I used to like to do is just, I don't know, I'd be out past my bedtime, just take a nap, like sitting on a podium somewhere.
We've got a friend
so
like that.
at any one of those occasions, someone could have chopped me and lectured me on my alcohol intake. I don't know. But my friends were very good. Everyone that I know, no one's really said, hey, Scott, I think you've got an issue. You need to stop. No one has ever said that, but I'm very well known for doing that. Like I had one part, a friendship circle. Yeah, it's a bit of a party. So it was Easter, and it was not long after I'd moved to Melbourne. Anyway, we're having this party at this beach house, and I fully passed out at, I don't know, it wasn't even midnight yet. And I passed out asleep next to the boombox, and they had that playing right in my ear, so super loud. I slept through the whole damn thing. I'm a very heavy sleeper. But waking up in the morning, there was a lot of, are you okay? It was that kind of lecture, I suppose. People more cared for me.
Did you get your face drawn on or anything?
Yeah.
Yes, that happened. And that's always been a big thing for me, is like I'd always fall asleep. Like I actually feel like I might have a mild case of narcolepsy. I said that right. I just got contacts on the weekend, and I told my optometrist that I have a mild case of necrophilia. So, not the case. But yeah, they put a cigarette in my mouth. They did a seance on me, and all these photos were there the next day. But yeah, I was there. I wasn't there.
You were there.
Bless. We've got a friend exactly the same, mate. So we totally
I can relate. I can relate.
Shut up, but don't humiliate me. And then I get really sad because I'm thinking, why'd you do that to me?
Yeah.
Don't draw me. I'm surprised I've got away with not having my eyebrows shaved off.
Oh, yeah, you're lucky. You're lucky.
Yeah.
Reza had a doodle drawn on her head.
Yeah, I had a few. That was in London. I don't know if you were there, Meso. Were you there? But yeah.
Definitely. There and present are two different things.
I heard about that. You talked about that on the podcast. You had a doodle.
I had a doodle. Yeah. But my whole sleeping thing is because, you know, boozing makes you tired. So I would often nana nap like pre-session throughout the week. Mm-hmm. And since I've stopped drinking, I just don't need a nana nap. Like I think I've had probably, 3 or 4 in the last 12 months. I just don't nana nap anymore because I've got energy, which is a huge thing because I was like the queen of napping, nana napping. Love it.
Yeah, I love a nap, but I still love a nap. You're right about the energy, but I mean, is there anything better? Mind you, I go to bed at 8:30 at night. So
I love that. I'm jealous. We're nearly past your bedtime then, Scotty. So.
I know completely. Yeah, this is a rager.
We need to talk about your sister, Michelle, because Michelle.
Yes.
She'll be listening. Hi, Michelle.
Michelle.
Hi, sis.
Yeah, hi, sissy. She's a listener and she's in our DMs and we think she's fantastic. Yep. And she's obviously off the sauce as well. So was that coincidental or because she's over in WA, yeah? So
yeah.
So was that just a thing that happened or did you talk about it or what was the story?
No, we definitely talked about it. Michelle knew that Michelle was the one that I spoke to when we were sitting at the campsite when I looked at her and went, I've got to stop. And this comes after a night of like literally drinking scotch straight out of the bottle when I thought I'm beyond that. Anyway, yeah, I told her I was going to stop and then she didn't stop immediately after that, but I think she herself then got to a point where she started to see or hear changes in me and how I was feeling better, and I think she just decided to do the same, you know.
Oh, so it started with you.
Yeah.
But also my mum has also stopped as a result. Yeah, I know. So
what's your mum's name?
Sue.
Susie Q. Well done.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
She's bloody amazing, and I mean, it's one thing to stop when you're in your late 40s, but to stop when you're like mum, she's 70, right? So I never expected or wanted her to quit. Yeah. I knew that we could all probably put it away, like it'd be better if we stopped, but I would never have said that. And I didn't think she was going to. And then I think she just thought, well, if you're quitting, I may as well quit.
How good, that's amazing. How good does she feel?
And then,
How good does she feel?
She feels amazing. And, she lives in a lifestyle village too where they can definitely drink. They can smash, sure.
4 o'clock. Isn't it 4 o'clock cards and wine or something like that?
Yeah. No, it's bridge.
Oh, bridge.
Yeah.
And she's pretty wild, isn't she?
She's fun.
I've seen her on your Instagram and stuff, and she's real up and about.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, there is a funny video from Christmas. We had a good time when we were all together.
Love it. I love it. So then tell us then, Scotty, what was drinking like growing up, like when you and Michelle? Is there other siblings or you and Michelle?
Yep.
And
No. Michelle, just the two of us. Look.
Who's around?
Yes, it was definitely around. It was always out, available, not available for us to have, wasn't like we weren't invited to drink it, but it was certainly there. And I think my parents really trusted me. I know that I got my first sip of beer by the barbecue. I reckon I was 7 or 8. And that was my dad. And
pretty stock standard, isn't it?
Yeah, and I feel bad because I'm not like trying to pretend that that's the reason, but that was when it all, I had my first sip. Anyway, it was probably that time too that I decided while it was on the barbecue to peer over and see what actually happens down the chimney when the barbecue's on. Well, that's not advised because then I had no fringe. That could have happened after the sip of beer. I'm not sure. I've never done that again. It's like staring into a furnace.
Definitely the sip of beer. It's definitely that.
Yeah. But look, we definitely always saw it. Michelle and I remember one day we were going out at the backyard to sit by the pool and we poured ourselves a Scotch and Coke, not understanding the ratios. And we were like definitely under 10.
Oh,
for sure. Because I remember we left the family house when I was in grade 6 or 7, grade 7. So I was young. And anyway, we poured ourselves a Scotch and Coke, not knowing the ratios. Mum could see that it wasn't Coke. And, that got poured out. But dashed our hopes. But, yeah.
And that's probably just, monkey see, monkey do sort of mentality. Like you see adults around you mixing their drinks.
Probably.
Drinking and...
Yeah, I'm sure. Like, there was a lot of parties, back then, but... I guess we saw it all and we saw everyone having fun and just I guess we wanted to have fun too.
Yeah. Well, I was talking to a friend today actually and they went to talking about Halloween.
Yeah.
Kids out in the street, mum's running around with teacups full of booze and even the local dentist lives up the street and he's doing shots of vodka out of the syringe for people. And kids, this is kids in the street.
Yeah,
this is kids Halloween running around on the street and everyone's
in Melbourne, mate, though.
Yeah, it's just up the next suburb. You know what I mean? And it's like kids are introduced to seeing alcohol present everywhere. The seed is planted. No wonder there's, and
making it fun.
Alcohol is so, it's so prevalent in all of our lives. So,
haven't you noticed it more since stopping? Like anything you do, everything you watch, you go to events, you hear the way they talk about responsible drinking. Like I watch a lot of reality TV and all they do is just get hammered. I mean, that's when they get the best footage, but it's like it's literally everywhere. I've just really, we grow up with it. So it's not just what happens in the house, it's what happens everywhere. On every TV show you watch. Yeah.
Well, actually, I saw a TikTok today. There was about, 6 or 7 women and they go, I'm going to get a hangover tomorrow. I'm going to be hungover tomorrow. And they all pop up. And I'm just like, they love it. It's really funny. I'm like, you poor little bodies are just, there was a time I would have shared that and loved it. I'm sure we'd went in Sainsbury's, but now it's just like cringe. It's just
same. And like
health, it's your body.
I went out for a drink obviously on Saturday with a friend of mine, and we're sitting at Grace Darling and talking to this lovely couple. Anyway, the guy was sort of like, when the conversation is, you're having a big night, you're going to have a hangover tomorrow. And that's just quite a normal thing to say, a normal thing to expect that you'd wake up with a hangover. And you have to really sort of stop yourself from going, I don't drink, I don't get those.
I know.
But I'm glad that I don't. I'm so glad that I don't.
Oh, hell yeah.
Too right.
I was actually
get preachy.
I was on a school excursion today with my son and I was about to jump on the bus and one of the teachers made comments and said, you'll need a wine after you get home today. I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah. But again, it's such a normal thing to say.
Yeah,
But in
it
my head,
is,
I'm
and
like,
like,
hell
and
no.
you remember saying it yourself, so you
Oh,
can't.
God,
You
yeah.
can't just do a complete backflip.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right on the. It's hard to not sound preachy because
Yeah.
if you really let rip, then you will. But yeah,
Yeah, I know.
You'll be
I'll get
Scotty.
it-
You'll
I'll
be
get it one
Scotty.
day.
No mates. Scott. No mates.
oh, completely. Oh, if you don't think I've heard that my entire life, wow, way to hit a trigger. No, just kidding.
You need a drink to settle
Yeah.
in.
Have you Molly Rose? Are you drinking Molly Rose Brewing? Is that what you're drinking?
Yes, I
Molly
am.
Rose? Yeah, it's a good drop, isn't
Oh,
it?
you'd be all across everything, right? Strawberry sublime.
Yeah,
Oh,
that is sublime. It's delicious.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
it's really good. Mm.
so tell us, Scotty. Scotty, no, Scott.
Yeah.
Scott, no.
Don't
Yeah.
say it. Don't say it.
It's Scotty too hotty now.
Oh yes. that is going to stick. Scotty
I
too
love
hotty.
that.
That'll be
Scotty too-
trending. That'll be trending. Hashtag will be
Yeah.
trending real soon.
I love that. July 17th, you posted a reel. It was a
Yes.
slideshow of all the photos. It was very clever, actually. I think I might do a similar one because we've all got them. We've got photo albums full of that classic shot holding a glass wherever you are in the world. There's always booze in that photo. You made this
Yeah.
beautiful montage, and it talks. The caption is 25 years plus normalizing drinking, and then 88 days. The before and after pics. We get onto that later on.
Yeah.
But was that when you announced to the world that you were sober, or had you done a soft launch? Had you announced?
No, I reckon that was probably the unveiling. It wasn't. I don't think it was. It was nothing intentional. It was just. I'm ready to feel proud of this now.
Yeah.
And I'm ready to. And I actually think by doing that and broadcasting, which coincidentally I did that the first time I quit as well, and by putting it out there, you are owning it, and it does give you the strength and the stamina to keep going.
You're accountable.
I think it really helps. And also it's like no one can shame me if I'm saying it. So if I'm broadcasting it and telling people how proud I am that I've quit, then no one can take that away from you and no one can make you feel bad for it. So and the funny thing is about that TikTok community, I know it's all very funny and cute and random and weird, but it's very, very supportive when it gets to small little niche groups like that. And they'd have them for everything. But I follow a few people on there that tell a sobriety journey. Now, that's not what I do, but it comes up. I've brought it up a couple of times. But the amount of people that reach out and give you that support and share the day that they quit as well, and everyone sort of shares just how amazing they're feeling, like that is really some uplifting stuff. So that was the motivation behind, I guess, doing it.
Love that.
But yeah, and yeah, it just, yeah. So that's what that was. But yeah, it definitely gave me the energy and the strength to keep going, and just I want to see more changes. I want to know how to get.
Oh, and your rig, we'll post that up. Oh my God, the before and after. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, well done. We loved it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's been pretty cool. It's been amazing.
Unreal.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us then, Scotty too hotty, how do you feel about booze now?
I feel like I'm okay with it. I'm okay being around it. I've never been like, at first I was a bit weird about, like, I wouldn't have alcohol in the house. I can't do that. I can't be a good host and have something here for when people come over, because I just don't want to be in that situation where I'm having a really vulnerable moment. I don't think that I'd go for it, but yeah. But I'm careful about it. But I can be at a bar, I can go into a bottle shop and ask for zeros. I can do all that totally fine. I just have much more respect for the fact that it's a poison, and I have more respect for the damage that it can do. And also, yeah, I don't know. I'm just standing back, and I'm here to help or to catch someone else if they had a fall because of it. Because I don't think anyone quite knows the damage they're doing to themselves.
Did you
Because-
educate yourself,
Who tells
Scotty?
us that?
Well, that's it. Did you educate yourself, Scotty, once you stopped drinking about booze? Like, how did you sort of, you know?
I guess so. I mean, you guys had a lot to do with it, to be honest with you, because it was Michelle, who went, "Oh, I found this podcast. You got to listen to it." And I reckon she found it when she was embarking on it herself. So she's the one who shared you, and since then, I was like, it was great because I had like a year's worth of binge to do. I heard it all back to back. I started to get a little bit like, I'd get home and I'd be like, "Oh, hi, girls." And I'd get into my nighttime cooking routine, and you're on the iPad talking, and we're all sort of talking about, so I've been thinking about my shame story for a long time.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is the best. That is the best.
I love that so much.
So maybe, but you guys definitely educated me. Listening to other podcasts has been very helpful. The advice that you've given, like with William Porter and things like that, have been like really handy. And that's, again, another thing. Like when you hear the science behind it, there's no way out. There's no argument.
You can't unhear that. You
You really can't.
Yeah.
You can't. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you just start to notice, I think, more people that are sober as well.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Because they're so fresh and so hot.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah.
So then tell us, Scotty Too Hotty, what are the highs and lows of sobriety besides your before and after pics, which we will post? Tell us.
Look, that has been great, but my anxiety has all but gone.
Amazing.
Yeah, and I've halved my dose. I just feel happy. I feel genuinely happy, and I feel open. I feel ready. I feel like I put myself out of the race a lot over the last few years, and certainly I got unfit. I wasn't feeling good about myself. Depression was at all-time high, and I had just taken myself out of it. And so I didn't feel part of the fraternity, whatever that is. I wasn't part of life. I wasn't a participant. And since then, I feel like I'm back in the game, like completely. I feel like I haven't – I think this is what maybe prompted that 25 years plus thing, because I suddenly felt like someone who I hadn't known for at least 25 years, because I feel like I'm just starting to feel like my authentic self, free of booze. It's quite amazing. Like drinking through from a young age where you're still developing. I'm a serial relationship guy, so I'm in one. It's extended, then I'm small break, back into another one. Now I'm like 3 or 4 years without a relationship, and just feeling like I just feel like me, and it's so very hard to explain, but it's amazing.
We can
amazing.
see it. We can see it beaming out of you.
Oh, it's clarity.
Totally. Yes.
I'm present in the moment all the time. At work, I'm just the ideas are there. I just feel, and I have to present and speak to some, executives at a high level. So I can't be feeling vulnerable and scared in those moments. And all of that is completely stripped away.
Incredible.
Yeah. So
Incredible.
it's pretty amazing. And I wake up with a smile on my face. I wake up and I just with these guys.
Oh, yeah. I'll go for the listeners.
And Maud, she gives me the side eye. So I'm like that in the morning, and she's looking at me like, go away. I just feel happy. I just feel happy.
Oh, mate, you can see you are bursting.
Yeah.
And I really related. I'm sure you can, Breezer, as well. When you were trying to explain how you were feeling, and then you burst out with clarity. There's nothing. I stumble over my words trying to explain it as well. It's extraordinary. And just for the listeners, Maud is a little tan Frenchie, and Sarge. Is it Brindle? Is he Brindle?
Yeah.
He's a Brindle Frenchie.
Yeah.
That for the listeners, but you can see that on YouTube as well.
Oh, you can hear Maud too, probably. Can you?
Is she having a snuffle? Oh, you've got the tattoo.
That's Sarge and that's Maud.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Sorry, also not fun.
He's just showing us his sleeve of Frenchies on his tattoos on his arms. Amazing.
Well, I've just got a PSA. Our listeners actually need to go to YouTube and watch this whole episode.
Yeah.
You need to see Scotty's smile. There's everything. So you need to press pause and go to YouTube to see Scotty.
And all the hotness.
And all the hotness. And the doggos.
I feel bad. I set that one up. I'm the one who made. Yeah. Anyway.
So any lows then, Scotty? Any lows? Any lows?
Lows. Lows. Probably that. Probably the only low that I can think of is just that whole going out and just getting loose and
yeah.
Because there's not one single thing outside of that I really miss alcohol for. I will say this, I've realised drinking non-alc beers that I actually really do like the taste of beer. Who knew?
Same.
But aside from that, I don't love alcohol. I don't miss anything about it. But I suppose it's the social aspect. I guess I miss just
bit loose.
I have to cut events short. I go to work events, and once people start to get a bit, and I can't engage anymore, I have to just
pull off.
Yeah. So that's a bit of a negative. But aside from that, that's fine. That's just yeah. And I'm usually excited to come home and see these guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
I found myself a few times I was out camping with some friends and I just ghosted and went to bed, and I was reading my book in bed. I was into this really good book at that point. I was reading my book at midnight while everyone else was still partying. This is so good. I was in my little happy place.
Yeah. How good is it?
So
How nice is it?
Love that so much.
So good.
Yeah.
So for our listeners then, Scotty, what advice? So, our listeners are, sober curious, or they're still drinking, or they don't drink at all. What advice would you give to our listeners who are questioning their relationship with alcohol? What tools would you give them?
Well, first of all, I'd say have a support network, whether it be a friend, someone who's gone through it, a podcast. I cannot downplay enough just how important you girls were for me in those initial stages. Really.
Thank you.
And so whenever you're feeling a bit NQR, that's when you'd go and listen to a podcast. But I would just say don't be afraid to try. If you're questioning it and you sort of feel I guess if you're even thinking, oh, maybe I'm just drinking too much, you probably are. And just for the record, I reckon everyone drinks too much, regardless of how often or how much. Anything really isn't that great, as we know. But I also think if you have ever, or if you say something like, oh, I have to have a drink, I have to have this, or I can't wait to get home to have that, then you're definitely doing it for the wrong reason. So probably just try it. Just take a break and just see. I had a neighbour across the way here he was actually the first person to put it into my head. I never really thought that giving up booze, it wasn't something I wanted to do back then, because I thought, oh, there's too much fun. I have too much fun. And he's this really smart, cool, hot neighbour.
Is he single? Is he single?
No, he's not now, but he was then.
Singing for Meso.
Yeah, very good looking, very cool guy. Anyway, he's been sober for 6 years, and he once said to me, and he drove me out to the airport once. He was just one of those really lovely, amazing people, and I'd opened up to him and said, I'm just not feeling. I don't know. I like the idea of quitting, but I'm just not sure. And he said, honestly, at least stop for at least a year and just see how that goes, and because you will just feel amazing. He goes, it's the best thing I ever did. And he used to get on it as well.
Yeah.
And I get it. I understand it. I understand what people are talking about now.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really take that long to feel that way.
Yeah.
Once you take the habit side away, that whole, I mean, I don't know about you, but I do not miss that whole, I've got to, it's how much have I got in the fridge? How much will I need to get through tonight? I don't miss that life. I don't miss thinking about that.
Mm.
Yeah, so podcast, having someone to speak to, and also I would not be afraid to tell people, I think, as well. Tell someone at least, but not one single person has judged me for my decision, even though they know I probably drunk too much. No one has said, oh, it's about time, you know, or because that's part of it too. They think, oh, what if, and Michelle and I were talking about this going, oh, posting this stuff, you can only imagine what people are thinking, and then thought, who cares what people think? Because irrespective of what may or may not be the reality, we're not drinking now and we feel bloody amazing for it. So let people think what they want. Yeah.
Too right.
No shame, because again, like, we grew up with it everywhere. You watch TV now, it's everywhere. I was watching Watch What Happens Live. Andy Cohen, at the start of every episode, talks about, you know, what the drinking word is. Like, every time you see this word, take a shot and just make sure you don't drive tonight. And like, you know, at work functions, you hear them say, oh, you know, please don't drink too much, guys, you know, be safe, whatever.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there's no offering of zero alcohol. Happy to fund debauchery, but won't fund. Anyway, I think that's changed.
Did you?
I'm starting a campaign.
What's your campaign?
Oh, no, just that I'm trying to get into work events.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
All for that. For that. Did you ever wake up to, Scotty, with that dread? I don't know if were you a blackout drinker?
Completely.
Oh, God.
What's that?
Yeah, we're feeling your pain. You're a blackout drinker.
Oh, yeah. I blacked out the first time when I was 16 and I've blacked out since then.
So when you wake up the next day and that dreaded feeling of shame going, what have I done? Who did I speak to? What did I do last night? How did I get home? Like, all those crazy thoughts in your head, they don't even enter my head anymimore because I remember because I'm not drinking. So, yeah, you remember everything and you're waking up fresh anyway. I don't miss that. Yeah. I still remember that feeling and I hate it.
I used to wake up, I think because I hit the deck pretty quickly, I'd wake up really quickly. I'd wake up like shocked because like in my head, I just passed out for 5 seconds, but really I'd be at night. And you'd wake up and do that quick, like, phone.
Where am I?
Oh my God, I'm on my phone. I'm okay. At least I had that. But yeah, actually, there's a number of times that I just woke up thinking, it's amazing I am home.
Yeah.
How lucky am I that I actually got home? I don't remember.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's, I don't know how blackouts work. I don't know, like, when you get to a certain point and you're used to blacking out, whether that's just something that happens after a few drinks and like, because I feel like I
have a theory. I have a theory. So my behaviour was, I'd remember getting to the taxi line, getting in the taxi, and then I'd black out. And in my head, I'm like, I know I'm safe because I'm on my way home. Switch off time.
Yeah.
See you later.
You know what? You're right. That's exactly when it happens, because you do suddenly go, okay, I don't have to try to stay, like, I don't have to try to be together now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to get a neuro on to discuss that.
Yeah.
I've lost a lot of sunglasses that way. Is getting, you know, when you go out day drinking and then you get in the taxi at, like, it's probably still daylight, I don't know, and you just like and then they drop off your head.
Especially for guys, because you have no handbag. Like, guys, it seems to be a thing with guys.
No. Yeah, there's no handbag.
I think I used to actually if I went out for a night, I'd take my sunglasses. I knew I'd be out all day the next day as well. Like, that's committed to the cause.
Oh, you prep for the next day. You prep for the bender.
Prep for the bender. Yeah, prep for the bender.
Smart.
Yeah. You didn't want to walk out of the club. You didn't want to walk out of Brixton Academy with all the mini cabs. The sunny straight on. 7 o'clock in the morning. Terrible. Anyway, so we're talking about AF drinks, yay or nay, and what you go to.
Yay.
Yeah.
First round of quitting, I was doing it a bit, and someone said AA would say you shouldn't be doing that. But this time around, I've just thought I'm embracing it. And I think, and it was because of you guys, I got straight onto, like, I did that thing of, I started to get really obsessed with buying non-alc options every two. And so, I got onto Altina and I bought the big hamper. I've got dried strawberries, dried lemons, everything in the go. I've got the Sanskria thinking,
You went
there you
hard.
go. Yeah. I'm thinking, let's see what these girls are talking about. And it turns out it's great. But I had the top 2 rows of my fridge were completely full of Heaps Normal, Altina, Yes You Can,
Oh, amazing.
Naked Life from
Oh, yeah.
Woolies. Oh,
Yeah.
can we talk about, are we allowed to mention
Yeah.
Woolies?
Yeah.
That whole,
Yeah.
you know when you used to go to the video shop when you were a kid and there was that sort of down the back porno section? Non-alcs in Woolies were like the porn that were kind of up the back in a small section. Well, they've brought it to the front. And
They're a new release. They're new release now, baby.
the new release, yeah. So yeah, I'm full for it. I'm definitely for it. And also, it helps when you go to someone's house. You can still take a bottle of that if you're want to have a little celebration. I used to think it was really daggy to sit and have like fake champagne. And back in the day, it probably was a bit daggy. Spumant, whatever it was, the grape juice, the fizzy grape juice.
Mason.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't think seriously about that, but then, yeah, I'm all for it. I think it's great.
Amazing.
I've discovered Edenvale as well.
Oh, that's so good. We
Yeah.
love Edenvale.
We love Edenvale.
Wow.
Yeah.
So good. I was actually
good.
thinking it the other night going, why would you bother with alcohol, like actual red wine? Like I know that there's going to be a big difference. But when you're at the end of the night and you pour that glass of wine with your dinner and you just have one, you don't want another one, it's like, I'm going to wake up feeling amazing. This tastes great.
Yeah.
I feel awesome.
It's a game changer.
Up and about.
Yeah.
Love it. Oh, this is good. We're nearly wrapping it up. We've got our little rapid fire questions, Scotty.
Get ready.
Scotty,
Okay.
Get
Are
ready.
you ready?
I'm ready.
Who are you going to root, marry, or kill out of Jack from Will and Grace, Neil Patrick Harris, or Stephen Fry?
Stephen Fry. Are we talking British man?
Yes.
Stephen Fry.
Yes.
Oh, God. What are the options again?
We can root, marry, or kill any of this.
I think I'll kill. I'll probably marry Steve Fry.
He's a good call. He's
grey matter. He's grey matter.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And then I can maybe hyphenate and be Fryer Fry.
Oh,
So there's that.
love it.
I think I will kill. Who was the first one again? Sorry.
Jack, little Jack from Will and Grace.
Oh, I'll fuck him for sure. I'll kill Neil Patrick Harris. Yeah.
Like it.
Yeah. Just Jack.
I love it.
How good Stephen
My pick as
Fry.
well, my pick.
Stephen Fry.
Oh.
Just
Forever.
amazing.
We'd marry him as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's lovely.
I love that. He's very
Phone, fucking with the PH, cause we didn't give a F for the call or text. Phone, fucking with the PH, give him a ring, check it roll.
Oh, yeah, this was bad. This was one of my low moments. I met someone we'd been dating for like a whole 3 weeks, and it was really going somewhere. He went over to LA. I got completely just dumped. Without any word of warning. Anyway, he came back. I thought obviously he's going to be desperate to see me.
Totally.
He wasn't, and then I got on it and then started sending lots of text messages, and then I did the real passive-aggressive post of like, I don't know, it wasn't the internet, it was on socials. I then I got on and ordered some flowers. I wanted to order him $200 of his favourite flower, and send it to his office and say something about what you're missing out on. I know, something lame like that. This does connect to a phone in a second. Anyway, they didn't have his flower, so I bought myself a bunch of flowers, forgot what I was doing, and then put them on the living room table. I took a photo of them and then did another post on my Instagram story saying something shady and whatever.
Great.
Then I posted a series of letters on my story. You know, when you can just do a whatever. Anyway, so that made no sense whatsoever. And that was when my sister called me, Michelle, and just went, are you okay? I think you need to delete that one. So, yeah, drinking and the phone, not good.
You know what that just reminded me of, Scotty, is I don't know if you guys saw it recently, Tommy Lee. When he was starting, he was on a bender, I think, and was just posting like photos of his snag, flat out.
I can't believe I missed it. I missed it.
It was like I think in our office group chat, someone said Tommy Lee IG, and I was on it. I was like, holy shit, because he's known for his massive cock, which I didn't know that was a thing, but my partner did. He's like, yeah, he's known for that. I'm like, I know that.
I knew of it, but I never saw it.
Yeah, no, it was there in full flight. And then he just posted for the next 24 hours a series of just random posts, random as, and you could tell there was a few videos of him, and you could tell he was just on a bender. Everyone's like, make him stop, make him stop.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing too. I guess I suppose I went through a stage of really sharing your feelings by cryptic message on the internet.
That one, yeah.
And like some dark picture and this sad song. Like, what are you doing for?
You're really in the moment. I feel it.
It's like
I did a TikTok live once, and I'd had a big one. I'd been drinking whatever, one of my classic events for one. And then I set it up and I was talking to people, God knows how I could see. And then apparently I got up in the morning and my ring light and everything was still sitting on the balcony. I got up halfway through a live and walked into another room, and I'd taken a nap on the living room floor. They couldn't see me. They could hear me snoring. And someone said, I sat there for hours waiting for you to come back.
Damn.
Oh. So, yeah, I can't be trusted. Can't be trusted.
Can't be trusted.
That's gold.
It's time for the recommendation of the week.
Okay, yeah, I thought about this, and then I felt really sad initially because I thought, I don't think I can recommend anything. I can't think of anything. One thing I've noticed recently is my night's sleep has become super duper important. And I got onto Sheet Society. Have you guys heard of Sheet Society?
Yes.
Okay. It's not necessarily the cheapest, but I think it shouldn't matter when it comes to bedtime. You place an order, you can order everything in separates, the amazing colours, you can piece it all together and it gets delivered within like 2 days in this like gorgy recycled gift box. It just feels like you're opening something from Apple. Anyway, they're really sweet. There was a little handwritten note in there saying thank you for your purchase. Anyway, they're really good. I've bought a couple of sets and I highly recommend them.
Oh,
You've inspired me, Scotty, because I have sheet issues. I
Okay.
I have to nail the right sheet. So this is great.
Get onto it. They're amazing.
Is it two women that own that company? Is it the two girls from Geelong?
I don't actually know. I normally get onto that, and I didn't have a look, but it definitely has a care. Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah.
My other recommendation, and I was talking about whether or not I should mention it, but there's a podcast I listen to called, and you might know it, I sexted my boss.
Oh no! I haven't. Tell us.
There's these two guys. They're English. One is he's like an etiquette coach, so he's quite prim and proper, and the other one's like a northern lad, and they just talk about people write in with their phone fuck-ups, I guess, essentially. But they're very entertaining. The problem is, though, they do start with, they drink and they get a bit pissed when they're doing their podcast, but it's good for a laugh. So I'm only saying from that respect, it's a bit of light entertainment.
Which is what you want every now and again. Sometimes getting too much self-care and self-help could be like, I just want to listen to something silly and fun and just take away. So... I don't want this potty to end.
I know. You're in Melbourne, aren't you, Scotty?
Yeah, I'm in Melbourne.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how can everyone find you? And what else? Is there anything else you want to add? Tell the crowd about.
Oh, not really. I mean, if you want to find me,
Yes, we do.
Well, I have a TikTok account, and it's called Call Me Joe Official. It's called that because I didn't want to broadcast, "Hi, I'm Scott Fryer, and this is my lame side obsession." So it's Call Me Joe Official, and on Instagram, Call Me Joe for real. I like to be incommunicado. I sort of feel. Don't want everyone from work jumping on and just finding me. So yeah, that's what I do, and it's just a bit of light fun.
It's hilarious.
You do it so well, yeah.
Tell us how you got into that.
Well, I got into it at the start of COVID, at the start of lockdown. I'd heard of TikTok. My niece was on it, Indy. I sort of thought, I'll get onto TikTok. I'll start an account just so I can watch her do her little videos and things, her dances, and then got on, thought, I don't understand this at all. Why am I seeing all these people that I have not signed up for? And then, anyway, I needed a distraction. I was going crazy in these four walls, and so I just started. I have a theatrical background, and it just sort of played into that side of my brain.
He's very creative and very clever. Yeah. Yeah, amazing.
It's a bit of fun. I swear to God, I'm never going to have a boyfriend or a root probably ever again.
I feel like you won't have any trouble.
None.
I feel like you won't have any trouble.
In the bag anyway.
That's it.
Yeah. Anyway, yes, I definitely am comfortable with my feminine side. Let's just say that.
Oh, it's brilliant. How did you blow up though? Was there a particular post that went right off?
Well, actually, funnily enough, I think the first time was when I did do a sobriety. I don't know that you've seen it because it's like right back one of the early ones. It's not the normalised 25 years of drinking. It was the first time that I quit, and so that kind of blew up a little bit. Mm. But it's Little Edie. It's this character that I do from Grey Gardens. There's another recommendation. Watch Grey Gardens. I don't know why. You just have to. But it's a documentary made in 1975. Anyway, when I did Little Edie, all these people started to really respond to her. She got this immediate reaction, and I identified with her because these are two recluse women that live in their house, and it's a very long story, but I felt like the same recluse living in my apartment after many, many lockdowns, started to feel like I was going a bit crazy. So, yeah, she got a lot of attention.
It's brilliant. You are so clever. You are so clever.
It's fun. It's just fun. That's another thing. Like when you're feeling a bit like disassociated or disconnected, like that's a really good way to bring yourself into the present moment, doing something like that.
Yeah.
For me, anyway.
I love it. Oh, yeah. You've been an absolute joy.
So have you.
Hotty.
I was so scared. I'm sorry if I've rambled like a whole time.
No, you're a pro. This is
absolute
flow. Yep.
Flow
brilliant.
Okay.
So pro. I hope you felt comfortable. I hope but the listeners will absolutely love this. We sure have, and you're just beaming and smiling. People do need to watch this on YouTube because you're a fine specimen, good man.
Oh, but it's just funny because I'm just sitting here looking at you guys and talking to you, thinking I'm so used to just hearing you, not being able to engage with you. It's nice. Thank you. Thank you to you too.
Thank you. We appreciate that so much because we listening to you genuinely saying that we've helped you on your journey. It's like, I love hearing that feedback straight from the horse's mouth. Like, just unreal. Makes
and not just me, my sister, the ripple effect. It's hit my mum. Like, you guys, it's all important. It's very important. So thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. We really appreciate that more than you know. So thank you. Scott Fryer, 3 cheers for you.
Yeah,
thanks for coming on Booze Free Bants, mate. Thanks so much again.
It's been brilliant.
And we love you.
Thanks, Breezer. Thanks, Mazo.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye.
This podcast is proudly produced by our audio engineer, music extraordinaire, Eric Ladd.
We love you, Eric.